We talk a lot about Gaza and Ukraine and not so much about the rest of the almost 60 major international conflicts happening around the world. Start with a quick tour. Talk about the places that you're spending most of your time that the rest of the world is not paying enough attention to.
Thanks. So let me say one thing, Ian. I think it's important not to stop talking about the Ukraines and the Gazas, because what happens there in those two conflicts set the precedent for other places. And I say this in relation to the principle of non-aggression. So when I think about that and I think about other territorial expansionist type conflicts, the reference point for us is Ukraine, that what you let go there enables other precedent-setting type interventions. Gaza, again, in terms of mass expulsion, of displacement, of the weaponization of food, of watching sort of war crimes being committed or crimes against humanity. Again, it's important to center our attention on those two things. But you're right that below those two conflicts, Ian, that are at the heart of sort of media and diplomatic attention, the list of conflicts that are off the radar or deprioritized, that don't grab the same degree of attention, are quite long. So if I look at it from region to region, I look at Haiti, for example, where I think a year ago or a year and a half ago, a number of us would have said that the idea of an international police force that didn't have the necessary financial and political backing from the US or Canada or even from the region inevitably meant that we needed to think through another model for bringing peace around in Haiti. And then another set of conflicts, another region that's of course top of everybody's mind, is on the African continent, from the Sahel to Sudan. We've got an interesting development taking place in the Great Lakes. We never imagined, Ian, for example, that the United States would get engaged in the way that it's been absorbed now. And you saw the two presidents there signing a peace agreement on the White Hat at the same time. The rebels were still advancing in pace.
This is the Rwanda DRC conflict.
Rwanda and DRC, particularly in eastern DRC. And when I say to you, Ian, that it's important to keep Ukraine at the shadow, at the back of our minds, it's because that is also at one level about territorial grab there. And then when I look at sort of other regions, Asia, for example, Myanmar, a few years ago, it was very much at the top of everybody's mind with the Rohingya crisis. And you still have a military junta that is entrenched and is also at the center of some of the most aggressive campaign against civilians. And then in Europe, we tend to talk about just Ukraine, but we have the makings maybe of some kind of peace deal between Armenia and Azerbaijan. As you'll remember, Azerbaijan taking back Nagorno-Karabakh, but still a lot of tensions between them. Those are the sort of other conflicts that are at the top of the international agenda that don't sort of get much attention in the way others are. And then there is also the development on the South China Sea, and also Taiwan at the back of everybody's rear view as well.